All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real stuff, real music related stuff this time, and doing what I do in real time for a few real people just like you right there, and just like me here. So if you didn't like the pointing, that was really pretty strong pointing. All right, I got a very interesting story to talk about. And for those of you who used to sit around and smoke doobies back in the late 70s and talk about album covers. This one is going to be kind of interesting. Before I get to that, now I didn't smoke the doobies, all right, but many of my friends did. So just putting it out there. If I did, I don't know if anyone would think any less of me. Probably you would think more of me. Um, I did inhale a lot of smoke. So I was definitely getting the fumes. All right, let's get to this album. This is Streetlight and their album Night Vision. This is a really good melodic rock album. All right. So if you like melodic rock, some people say AOR. It's rock. Okay. It's good rock the way we used to hear it back in the 80s and into the early 90s. Lots of different influences, everyone from Survivor, Bon Jovi, Cheap Trick, and even a little Duran Duran. Yeah, I heard some Duran Duran-ish stuff. Singer has kind of a Simon Le Bon voice, so I think that's what does it for me there. But anyway, check this out, courtesy of Frontiers Music. It's good stuff. I know a lot of people my age don't care. They don't care about new stuff. They are listening to their old music, like, for instance, Pink Floyd, right? So this is kind of a sad story. Ronnie Rondell Jr., who was a Hollywood stuntman, he was set on fire for the Pink Floyd album Wish You Were Here. He's dead at age 88. Crazy, huh? Now, many of us would look at that album cover and go, what? And this is before artificial intelligence, photoshopping. I mean, they had to use film. They had to actually use film. And apparently, they had to do 15 takes to get that photo. Oh, man. I mean, and he was literally on fire. It says here Ronnie Rondell Jr., a stuntman, and a family full of them who performed in films including How the West Was Won, Ice Station Zebra, Twister, and The Matrix Reloaded, has died. He was 88. I mean, so he was doing stunts probably well into his 60s and into his 70s, maybe. Rondell is known to the Pink Floyd faithful as the businessman on fire on the cover of the band's 1975 album, Wish You Were Here. And they even talk about this. In an era before computer effects, his mustache was burned off during the photo shoot that took place on the Warner Brothers lot in Burbank, California. Man, this is just crazy. His father, Ronald R. Rondell, was an extra and then a veteran assistant director on films like Around the World in 80 Days and TV programs including Bachelor Father and The Jack Benny Show. And one of his songs, R.A. Rondell, is currently a stunt performer and coordinator with credits including Clear and Present Danger and The Avengers. Another son, Reed Rondell, 22, died in January of 1985 in a helicopter crash near Newhall, California, while performing a stunt as a double for Jan Michael Vincent on the CBS action series Airwolf. Wow. Talk about a dangerous job, right? But for those of us who would sit around and look at album covers, I mean, Pink Floyd, come on, their album stuff, and you didn't even have to smoke the doobies, all right? You could just look at this stuff. And this was the great thing about album covers and fold out albums, and also the inner sleeves on these albums. That's where you get all your information from. Most of the time, They would put lyrics in there and who played on what and so forth. If there were any guest musicians, even if it was just the band, they would just keep listing the same guys over and over again as playing on the tracks. So this guy apparently came from a long line of stuntmen. It's just crazy. And to be on television, all right, um, he was on shows like The Rookies, SWAT, Charlie's Angels, Fantasy Island, Dynasty, Falcon Crest, Vegas, Heart to Heart, and one of my all-time favorite shows, TJ Hooker. I'm a big Bill Shatner fan. I can't. That show was kind of goofy, but just to see him doing that role after being in Star Trek and being Captain Kirk, I thought that was kind of cool in a weird way. Movies. So this guy also put his body on the line in movies such as Grand Prix, Diamonds Are Forever, Blazing Saddles, Hooper, Against All Odds, Cannonball Run 2, To Live and Die in L.A., Lethal Weapon, They Live, The Hunt for Red October, Thelma and Louise. Maybe he was in the car when it he kept the car going over the cliff. Oh, man. Last Action Hero. Speed. He was on the bus in Speed. The Crow and Gross Point Blank, 1997. For his final credit, he limped out of retirement to participate in a spectacular car chase in The Matrix Reloaded in 2003, on which son R.A. was the supervising stunt coordinator. So these people are just a bunch of crazy daredevils. And this guy, they lit him on fire 15 times before they got the right photo for Wish You Were Here. So our thoughts, I mean, for him to make it to 88, that's amazing. I mean, again, the theory is you build up resistance to other things. If you're constantly putting your body at risk, maybe everyday life isn't so harsh anymore. You know what I mean? Ronnie Rondell Jr. is the guy's name. You'll probably forget that name tomorrow, but he certainly made an impact. And if you have that Pink Floyd album, give it a look today and say, wow, this guy was lit on. He was lit on. He was lit 15 times on fire before he got it right and before they decided to say, yeah, that's the one. That's the one for the album cover. Thanks for all your efforts there, Mr. On Fire Man. All right, so rock history. It's album covers. Album covers rule, folks. This is why you need albums, all right? And there are other reasons, and I'm going to do a video and talk about what's happening out there, all right? And why you should own physical media, original physical media. Not the stuff they're putting out now, but the original albums, all right? So hopefully this is all original stuff and it's not AI. It's new material, so I think these guys are doing it old school. The band is called Streetlight, and their album, Night Vision, check it out, courtesy of Frontiers Music. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Again, lots of different 80s music influences here. Music you can sing along to. You can rock out to. There are guitar solos. There are drums. There are keyboards. Real drums and real keyboards. But nobody on fire. So that might be a plus for the band. I don't think they want to do those risky album covers. Just photographs of the band. That's fine. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. As I always say, Jesus is the only way. I will put a link in the description of this video for both the Streetlight album and where you can hear some grace-filled preaching, all right? Because it's all about Jesus. It's not about you. It's not about what you can do. Christ paid for all of it on the cross. And that's the ultimate reason, the only reason that you should follow Jesus, not because you think you can do what he did, because you can't do anything compared to what God did for us. So anyway, that's the truth. I'm going to stick with it, and I will see you soon.